Hello, everybody. I wanted to give you a quick introduction to the 2021 France of Hmong Diaspora Field School. So I'm going to share with you a link to my page, my website. So if you go to jacobrhickman.com, you can click on Field School here at the top. So here's the home page. You go to Field School in 2021 France. We just recently updated this page. If you have been following my field school program, we were planning on doing this program last year. All programs were canceled because of the pandemic. So the plan right now, and BYU is telling us to plan for these programs until things change in some dramatic way. We're planning on reconvening the program that I was planning for last year in France this year. So my field school program is an ethnographic research methods training and research program where students learn how to conduct ethnographic research and then actually implement projects. So we carry out typically group-based ethnographic projects where every student has a particular question that they're asking, a research question. They have to do a literature review and pose a question and design methods designed to result in data that allow them to answer that question, with the goal being that we would actually potentially publish the results. And so this program really serves two purposes. One is to train students to do ethnographic cultural research. And the second is to give students experience undertaking that research and potentially presenting that research ultimately at academic conferences and even publications that contribute to our scholarly understanding of various anthropological topics, and in particular, the global Hmong community. So while the program is located in France, the focus of the program is actually going to be with a Hmong community in France. So there's a small village a couple hours south of Paris. And when I say village, it's a rural French village community. And there's about 60 Hmong families living in this community as well. So Hmong resettled there as refugees of the Second Indochina War after 1975. And, you know, they've been living in France ever since that time. And basically, we're kind of doing research. The topics that we've dealt with have ranged from studying traditional Hmong cultural practice, shamanism, funeral rituals, ancestral rituals, to looking at some of the intergenerational changes. You know, to what extent is the younger Hmong generation adopting the worldview of their parents or being sort of immersed in that worldview? We've had students who have done research in the past in this program on language shift, changing kinship practices, and so on. So really, there's a broad range. We've had a lot of students study gender issues and how gender issues are changing. So really, there's a broad range of possible topics that one could study. But the whole point, once again, is to pick something interesting that contributes to the scholarly literature of the Hmong community, or sometimes of an anthropological topic, using data from the Hmong community to speak to that. But the point is to get training as a researcher, to get some of the deepest level training that, frankly, undergrads could possibly receive. And often, I think this is actually more approaching graduate level methods training, frankly. But to provide that training and have students have the opportunity, if they really want to push this work beyond the program itself, to potentially eventually publish that work and make contributions to scholarship. So if you want to look at the webpage here, we've got a lot of background information, some of the details about the program itself, you know, a description of what is a field school, what is an ethnographic field school, some of the prerequisites. In terms of coursework, this is a full semester program, and you will take typically 12 or 13 credits. Actually, we provide language instruction. There are some language prerequisites as well. And if you're in anthropology major or minor, some of those language credits can actually count towards that as well, which we'd be happy to entertain questions about that. Some descriptions of cost, application process, and even some pictures from the past programs in France. And we might have some, these pictures are all about France, so to give you a sense of what it looks like. So that's the gist of the program. Again, students should only really consider this program if they're serious about the research. This is not a program where you simply go abroad and take interesting, albeit interesting, classes about the local content, but rather the thrust of this program is getting students deeply immersed in the program itself, in the local community itself, in doing cultural research. So students typically live with families and you're spending your days. We will have 1 or 2 days a week where we will spend a substantial portion of the day in class getting that training, but the vast majority of the time is actually spent out in the community doing participant observation, interviews, recording rituals, attending community events, being involved in the sort of daily run of the community itself, while trying to sort of wear your anthropologist hat and try and understand those things and to collect data systematically in that process. That is what we call participant observation. Participant observation is effectively a research method where you're embedded in the community, but also at the same time collecting data about your immersive experience, with a goal towards eventually writing about that and contributing to the scholarly literature on that topic. So that's the gist of the program. Feel free to go to my website, again, jacobrhickman.com, and click on the Field School link at the top, and you can find more information about that. And we'd also be happy to entertain further questions. You can contact us through the webpage, etc. Thank you very much.